Have you ever felt like you've lived a moment before, or made a choice and wondered, what if I'd done the other thing? Science fiction loves to play with this idea of parallel universes. But what if it wasn't fiction at all? What if, right now, countless versions of you are living out every possible outcome of your life? For decades, physicists have chased the theory of everything. A single, elegant equation to unite the massive scale of gravity with the bizarre quantum world of particles. For Dr. Elias Thorne, a researcher at the Zurich Institute of Subatomic Research, this wasn't just a theory. It was a ghost haunting his data. Particles in his experiments weren't just disappearing, they were flickering, as if bleeding into another reality. He had a stunning realization. The fundamental forces of our universe, like gravity, feel weak because they're being shared across an infinite number of other universes, all existing right alongside our own. To test this, Elias built the Janus Bridge, a machine designed not to travel through space, but to peek behind the very curtain of reality. As he powered it on, the lab around him didn't just blur, it dissolved. He was no longer looking at stars and galaxies, but at something far stranger. The cosmic foam. Imagine an endless ocean of soap bubbles. Each bubble is an entire universe, with its own unique laws of physics. In some, gravity is too weak for stars to even form. In others, life might float among eternal clouds of nebulae. Our universe, with everything we know and love, was just one tiny bubble in an infinite cosmic bath. But seeing isn't enough. Elias had to know what was inside. He calibrated the Janus Bridge for a localized jump, and in an instant, stepped through a rift in reality. He found himself in a version of New York City, but the sky was a deep violet, and the skyscrapers were not made of steel, but grown from glowing, bioluminescent coral. And standing right in front of him was himself. This Elias, however, wasn't a physicist. He was a musician, holding a strange, stringed instrument. The musician smiled and said, "You finally found the frequency. In my world, we didn't use math to find the multiverse. Who said sound?" This incredible encounter confirmed a mind-bending theory. Every single time a quantum event has a choice, like an electron spinning left or right, the universe splits. A version of you exists for every decision you've ever made, and every decision you didn't. There's a you who missed the bus this morning, a you who became a rock star, and a you who never existed at all. As Elias traveled deeper, jumping from one cosmic bubble to the next, the universe's greatest mysteries began to solve themselves. He saw that what we call dark matter was just the gravitational shadow cast by these other universes tugging on our own. The Big Bang wasn't a singular beginning of time, but the spectacular collision of two universe bubbles in the foam. Elias's journey wasn't a simple walk through a door. He realized the transition was a shift in what he called phase space. Think of it like tuning a radio. His home universe was on station 98.1 FM. The Janus Bridge was simply the dial, turning his very existence to another frequency. As if time itself seemed to stretch and compress. For a dizzying moment, he could see his own birth and his own death happening at the same time, proving another wild concept, the block universe theory. This idea suggests that all of time past, present, and future already exists simultaneously, like a frozen ocean. We are just conscious swimmers experiencing one moment at a time. His first stable jump landed him on Earth's 214, a world of eternal twilight. Here, the moon had been shattered by an asteroid millions of years ago, leaving a glittering ring of debris in a hazy golden sky. Without the moon to stabilize its axis, this Earth wobbled violently. The surviving humans lived in incredible underground cities called gyroscopes, built on massive pivots that constantly adjusted to keep the floors level as the world tilted. Elias learned a crucial lesson here. The gravitational constant he knew was unconstant at all. It was a variable that changed from one universe to the next. His next jump took him to World 88, a silent, sterile version of San Francisco. There were no trees, no cars, just sleek white pillars reaching into perfectly clean air. In this timeline, the 1947 Roswell incident wasn't a myth. Humanity made contact, and technology leaped forward by millennia. Here, people had abandoned their biological bodies, existing as pure data clouds in a global network. Communication wasn't spoken. It was projected directly into his mind through quantum entanglement. A cloud human sent him a thought. You are a ghost of a primitive branch. Why do you still carry the weight of atoms? It was here Elias understood that consciousness itself is a fundamental property of the universe, just like mass or charge. The theory of everything wasn't just about physics. It had to include the observer. But traveling between these worlds carried an immense risk. In the empty space between the bubbles, a higher dimensional void he called the bulk, Elias saw them. The reapers of entropy. These were cosmic forces, like a universal immune system, that attacked any matter trying to cross between realities. The multiverse, he realized, protects itself. Finally, after surviving the void, Elias reached the theoretical center of it all, an anchor point where all universes originated. Here, the four fundamental forces of nature, gravity, electromagnetism, and the strong and weak nuclear forces were no longer separate. They were unified into a single, glowing force that looked like a web of infinite golden threads. Every thread was a timeline, every connection a choice. The theory of everything wasn't an equation written on a blackboard. It was the master string, a single, unifying vibration connecting every version of you across the entire cosmic foam. We are not just individuals living one life. We are a symphony, an infinite chorus, played across an infinite number of instruments. When Elias finally returned to his lab, the Janus bridge cooling beside him, the world looked the same, but he was forever changed. He looked at his own hands, knowing that in a trillion other realities, those hands were playing a guitar, holding a crown, or had already turned to dust. The multiverse doesn't make our lives meaningless. It makes every single moment, every choice, and every breath a precious, unique vibration in the grand, beautiful, and infinite dark. What we do in this reality matters, because it's our note in that cosmic symphony. Thanks for watching. If this story blew your mind, hit that like button and subscribe for more journeys into the unknown. See you next time.